What up, everybody? This is Keith Jameson. I go by Gator Guy 231 across the DFS industry, and college football was back on Saturday, but I feel like it's officially back with this really fun 8-game Thursday slate on Draftkings. Looking forward to talking with you all on it and kind of giving you some insights. Really cool thing that I'm going to be doing for this video only, and maybe Saturday, maybe. We'll see how the reception is. So what I need you to do is like, comment, and subscribe if you like what I'm about to show you and what we're about to give out at FSI. So for tomorrow only, so for Thursday slate, and it's available right now, but I'm going to give out my player grid. So I call it player grid. I should call it like cheat sheet. I don't know. It's all the players that, I've come across in my research, how I rank them for cash, GPP, and blue is for Gators guys. Just the guys I like the most, who I've gravitated towards the most as I'm building lineups. And I'm going to also show you my core plays for Thursday slate. So again, like, subscribe, comment, let us know if you like it. And if you want access to this every single week, okay? And the player pool's out for the main slate, so on Thursdays and Saturdays. You got to subscribe to premium subscription because it's definitely only going to be the first week. Packages, I think, as low as couple, it's like 10 or 15 a week. I don't even know the pricing right now. I just know it's a good deal. I pour a ton of time into it, and you can see my insights. So without further ado, let's jump right into the slate and jump into my sheet, which I'm going to be working off of. As you can see here, even for Showdown, outside of the core, I had a little bit of digging, was pumped to see my guy Johnson Sanders score the first touchdown of the game. So it should be a interesting sweat, if nothing else, the rest of the slate. So, all right, let's just start I'm really going to highlight the Gators guys, but as you can see here, broken down for, guys I think are, certainly fine for cash. Obviously that means high floor, plenty of upside plays. GPP guys, I'm a little more unsure about whether it's a blowout, whether it's, undefined roles, but, definitely have some skill and some upside. And then finally, blue for Gators guys. Those are my top guys that I've come across. This will change tomorrow as I do some more reading, but for the preview, I'm excited to go over them. So let's start for my first Gator guy, which is Stroud from, and by the way, I'm just going to apologize in advance. If I don't know these first names, I'm still getting used to a lot of the players too. So Stroud for Ohio State. Ohio State, it's a 62.5 total. So it's one of the higher totals of the game. Good dual threat. Everything I read about Ohio State is just all receivers, and the coaches are just talking about how he fits perfectly, ready to go. I expect him to be extremely popular. Like, people want to play Ohio State guys. So, play the Ohio State quarterback with dual threat ability. I think there's just so much value at the bottom, which is where I'm going to drop to, that it's really hard just to automatically just go there. Okay. So first guy I'm going to bring up is Noah Vaddraw, starting quarterback for Rutgers. Rutgers comes in as a 2-touchdown favorite. It's 52 total. So right in between there, we really like 60+ totals, but 5,900 for a guy with dual threat ability. Last year had 68 rushes for 194 yards. Let's see how many touchdowns. Only 1 touchdown, but does also give us some passing threats. I think he's very in play. The more I've sat down, though, I'm really at the bottom, guys. I think Bryce, who is the transfer from Clemson, just let me get my bearings. Appalachian State, I think, is interesting. Obviously there's plenty of talent there, and they are solid favorites at home versus Eastern Carolina, -10, 56 total. So that works. But I'm just bearing the lead because I love the 2 quarterbacks at the bottom. I love their prices. The first off is, and I'm going to try to say the guy's name right. Okay. Let me just bring it up. So I give Eric, I'm going to say his Barrier, his credit. Starting quarterback for Eastern Washington. This is a huge game for them. I was shocked, not knowing too much about them for research. Only a 2.5-point dog at UNLV. It's a 67-point total. If you look through Barreri, the least amount of passes last year was 33 in the final game. Before that, 50, 49, and 57 passes. So very much an aerial attack. He was runner-up for Player of the Year in D2. He's 5,200. We've seen these smaller schools in the first games come in and just put on some shows. I think at 5,200, it's really hard for him to not get you, 15, 20 points. And then shoot, if you get 30 from him, my thought on the cheap quarterback is, okay, I could pay 8,000 for Stroud and get, 25 to 30, or I could save $3,000. And if I can match that or get close to matching that, it's huge leverage. And if I can use that salary right, I'm off to the races. Also, Dejuan Mathis, the Georgia transfer, should be really popular. Dual threat abilities, sub 5,000 for Temple. They've been raving about him in practices. So I think I'm Barreri over Mathis, but I expect Mathis to be extreme chalk given, former pedigree. I believe he's a 5-star recruit, tons of upside on him. All right, let's jump over to the running backs. I expect that Rachaad White should be one of the most popular plays on the slate at 7,000. Arizona State's a minus 45 favorite. I actually don't like Daniels as much as a result because I just think Arizona State's going to pound the ball. He is on the watch list. I believe he made the Heisman watch list, but I know he's on, I think it's a Doak Walker running back of the year. He was hugely explosive last season in limited work. Should get even more work now. And again, when you have a minus 45 total, you expect some huge plays from star players like White. So I like him a lot. Peoples from Appalachian State was a stalwart all of last year. I think he's really good at 6,900. I also really like Charles Williams from UNLV in that shootout game versus Eastern Washington. Again, it's close. We saw him end the season, with 22 for 146 and 2 touchdowns versus Hawaii. Also has some other, just really good games in there. Like I'm looking 1955, 27 for 89, 19 for 99, 20 for 80. The production we like to see, especially for sub 6,000 at the running back position. Isaiah Pacheco is I have as a cash play with Rutgers being a 2-touchdown favorite. And then Merritt is the running back from Eastern Washington. I think at sub 5,000, he has a lot of things to like as well. I'll just note Tennessee. I'm not going to really talk about many of their players. There's minus 35 hosting Bowling Green. They have a timeshare at the running backs position. They're both like 5,600. That's it's Evans and Small. Both are supposedly tearing it up in camp. So I think from like a GPP perspective, that makes a ton of sense. Again, I'm just trying to stay away from like timeshares in blowouts. That's just like scary. So, and then I should just mention Mark Ibrahim from Minnesota is like, if you played college football DFS, just to almost like lock and load him. I think in cash, I probably should make him blue, especially with the quarterback savings. It's probably gonna be easy to get to. Minnesota's just going to pound the rock. I just don't know how many opportunities they're going to get versus Ohio State. That should be an interesting game to watch. So yeah, we'll move on to wide receivers. My favorite play by far is Shakir from Boise State. We're going to see him pop up here in PrizePicks, but explosive wide receiver. He's their number one option. That should be another shootout. Boise State versus UCF. UCF's -6. It says 62 total. I want to say it was like 72. It's a high total. We know UCF can score. Boise State can do so as well. So I really do think that we could see some high totals there. And Shakir just getting so much volume and concentration from Boise State at 6,900, I think is a lock and load. Bo Melton from Rutgers is a nice guy, nice player to target as well. He gets a high amount of targets and should do very well. Kyle Williams from UNLV, 35 receptions for 426 yards last season and only, 6 games? So high target shares. But I want to highlight, yet again, if you didn't notice, I just loved what I found with Eastern Washington. But Talulo Limu Jones, a preseason All-American in D2. He had 30 catches, 426 yards in just 4 games. I already mentioned that Barreri is going to be tossing the ball a ton, maybe upwards of 50 passes. So I think Limu Jones at 5,000, getting almost 8 catches a game last season. Yeah, I'm all about that. So give me him for 5,000. Jaden Blue should be popular. I do want to bring up just as like a deep GPP play. I'm going to just Shank from Rutgers. He was like returner of the year. I do think it's really interesting. These guys that are like super good returners that the coaches now want to get more involved in the offense. They have explosive ability. So I think that's worth noting. I got a few more of the Eastern Washington guys here. And then finally, I'm just going to throw out one dart. Amari Johnson from UCF supposedly was tearing it up in camp. That's kind of how I got the play tonight in Showdown. So I'm going to definitely be throwing Amari Johnson at stone minimum in at least one lineup, see if I can get a big play from him. All right, let's go to my core. So at quarterback, I am probably by the end of this video, I've talked myself into Barreri as my core quarterback. We have White, Shakir, and Limu Jones. You see the showdowns are there as well. So the link is down in the details. So make sure you check it out. And if you love what we've got going on at FSI, make sure you subscribe for the season. There's options up for that. week, month, all that good stuff. All right, let's go over to PrizePicks, which, look, if you have not joined PrizePicks, this is the time to do it. Use promo code FSI. They'll give you a match of up to $100 for your first $100 depositing. And right away, I think I'm going to be giving you a winner tomorrow. So I'm going to, first off, talking to Khalil Shakir. So his reception prop, I believe, is 7, which I think is like right on the number. But I do think that he's a little light on receiving yardage. Last year, he had, here's his totals, okay? 85, 105, 130. Got brought down at Colorado State, only 47, 139, 90, and 123. So of that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the, 7 games over 95.5. Should be noting, though, I'm predicting this game to shoot out and UCF to be in the lead, meaning Boise State's not going to be able to pound the ball on the ground. They're going to have to throw. Should really give Khalil Shakir a number of opportunities to get over 100 yards. So I like that over. And then Rachaad White, if he went over at halftime, I would not be shocked. And hell, we might need him to go over at halftime, but he has huge big playability. 85.5, I think, is really, really light. He's going to want to start the season out with a bang. So I like the over both. Best part about PrizePicks for those that are new, you do not have to win 50% of your bets to be profitable. If you win 1 out of every 3, you will break even. If you're winning 50%, you are in the profit zone of just taking 2 because of the 3x nature of the power plays. So make sure you get on board. It is an awesome site, a great way to sweat out not only Draftkings, but the prop season as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Just a quick reminder, like, subscribe, comment, all really does help. Thank you all and have a good day tomorrow and see you.